Our current president is removing the walls and the boundaries of our world. And it's very similar to causing civil unrest and unforgiveness, and it's removing the walls and the boundaries of our human souls that allow for demon assimilation. For example, Texas, Biden is getting gas out of our country again, and has eliminated 75,000 jobs and has closed down the gas pipeline that was in Texas. So he's opened up the Mexico borders and has allowed in 25,000 people into all those countries that are adjacent to Mexico. He's allowing teaching of transgender, gender confusion into the schools to assimilate the minds of our children. They are causing dissension and unforgiveness at unprecedented levels within the human population. This liberal removal of boundaries will allow the American people to be easily assimilated by demonic spirits. So I am noticing that as I walk into my role as ambassador of heaven, and I'm communicating to my new employers because I'm trying to get a new job to get out of my situation, I'm communicating to them, to the possible new employers, about my network of my past clients. I literally have 1,500 contacts in my cell phone from all the years of business that I've done. I've had 25 years to accumulate this extreme value to, builders, real estate brokers, mortgage companies, anybody that would benefit from having a network of people in the housing industry. But what I have discovered is that the beast system, the people that are in allegiance within their networks, and they will do the will of their father. Most of the time with the internet now, in order to get new leads for any business, we have to purchase the power. You have to pay to get internet leads now. So even if you have a new house that you've listed, in order to get those leads from the internet, you have to pay them to get access to your own inventory and the market that's coming because of the house that you're trying to sell. So they have literally hijacked the internet. Okay, so my relationships that I have accumulated over the years, these relationships, I have already built trust. So why do these people of the beast system not understand the value of trust and the value of loyalty? That's because the beast system of this world, they don't have the spirit of trust. They don't have the spirit of loyalty. They don't have the spirit of integrity. They do not value it. They do not value the spirit of good relationships that have been cultivated over the years. Because remember, the spirit of trust and the spirit of loyalty, that is a spirit of God. It's the spirit of truth. Because the narcissist, worshiping Satanists are doing the will of their father, they align their thoughts with the thoughts of Satan, which are hate, contempt, judgment, and prejudice against me. And I'm wondering why. Because they are literally on Satan's payroll. They are part of the beast system. They are not going to embrace and help God's people, the ambassadors of heaven, the bride of Christ. They are not going to help you. God's people, the ambassadors of heaven, will literally take back the kingdom of heaven by force. And the demons inside them are aware of this. But consciously, they are not aware of this. Satan is trying to control, to dominate, and manipulate, and to isolate God's ambassadors of heaven from their assignments. The world hates us because we do not belong to this world. The funny thing is that all the players in this drama have no idea and are unaware that they are representing Satan and the beast system. They really have no idea. They are completely ignorant. So I was thinking, in 2008 or 9, we lost 1 million jobs in the state of Michigan where I live. The population of Michigan is approximately 10 million. That means in 2008 and 9, we lost 10% of people, jobs, resources, and assets. Presently, when I'm at work, I'm hearing from people in the workforce, engineers that work for the auto companies, because we have Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors here. And another guy yesterday that does a promotional business. They're telling me the engineers are seeing a loss of 50% of revenue, and the promotional business are seeing a loss of 80% of the revenue. The promotional company went from 417 employees to 17 employees, whom the guy I was talking to was one of the people left. So we are looking at a deficiency of 50% to 80% of the Michigan workforce. Losing 10% of the workforce in 2008 or 9 caused the Great Recession, at least the state of Michigan where I live. But what would 50 to 80% of a workforce lost cause us? Biden shut down the Texas pipeline and he's eliminated 75,000 jobs. Then he allowed another 25,000 people from Mexico into the country. Now, I'm not a genius by any means, but let me tell you, that's going to be a problem. So if Texas has a deficit of 50% of its jobs, now because the loss of 75,000 jobs of the gas pipeline, and then adding 25,000 people to the workforce population, Texas will be at probably an 80% deficiency of resources. This means that 80% of the country will not produce income. This means that 20% of the country will still have jobs and will have to carry the rest of the country. Folks, we're going to have a real problem. These numbers don't work. 20% can't sustain the 80% of the population. I mean, the Bible talks about money being worthless. I think it's starting. This is how it's going to start. It's going to be the Great Depression. It's going to make the 1920s look like a parade. So 1 Corinthians 1, 27 to 20. 1 Corinthians 1, 26 to 27 says, "For you see your calling, brethren, and not many wise according to the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God has chosen the foolish things and people of the world, which is me, to put to shame the wise. And God has chosen the weak things of the world, which is us, to put to shame the things which are mighty, and the base things of the world, and the things which are despised by God has chosen, and the things which are not, to bring to nothing the things that are, which again is us, that no flesh should glory in his presence." The flesh represents the beast system and the people that are in allegiance to it. "But of him you who are in Christ Jesus, who become for us wisdom for God, and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, that as it is written, he who glories, let him glory in the Lord." The world hates us because we are the chosen of God and we are the ambassadors of heaven. So this is the start of the Great Reset 2021. Welcome communism, control, domination, manipulation, isolation by the bride of Satan, whom is the Jezebel spirit. She is the spirit of the false prophet. She is the bride of Christ. She, Jezebel, is the counterfeit of the bride of Christ, and she is on assignment to steal, kill, and destroy the bride of Christ, the ambassadors of heaven. The good news, our God of the ambassadors of heaven is greater than the God of this world. In John 15, 18 through 24 says, the world's hatred. "If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of this world, and I choose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecute me, then they will persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If you had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me, he hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled, which is written in their law. They hated me without a cause.